Hello viewers, I'm Laritec and today we will be discussing about the do's and don'ts as a car user. And I will start with number one, being conversant with the main electrical parts, such as the radio, cigarette lighters, central lock button, window button, steering control, latch, or sometimes it might be an adjuster, and others there are a lot of components in the cars. And when mention the word conversant, it means you should know what they can do. It's very important, and know what they cannot do. Yeah, you should know the capacity of some things, because there are sometimes whereby there are some controls that they are manual. For example, I would like to use the steering control as an example. There are some cars that use the adjuster, we call it an adjuster, whereby when you push the button, the steering tends to be pushed up or pushed down manually. Unlike some cars whereby they are automated, whereby you can press it. But now you now set an example, like you that you are very used to the fact that, or the adjustment whereby you press it, like you pull it, and you are not driving a car, or probably you have multiple cars, due to the fact that you are already used to the manual control. You now went into the automated one and you start pulling it. You pull it out, the bottom might get damaged. And so also is applied to other buttons also. Either you're used to manual drive of the windows, mistakenly when you're not used to the automated one, you might crash it. So you have to be very, very conversant with what your cars don't have, and where there are some buttons. I'll move to the next one. Avoid spillage. Is it water, drink, anything liquid? They are very dangerous, especially on electronics components. Electrical components, they are very dangerous, because from my experience, when we check some parts of the cars, or let me say some damaged part of the cars, we tend to see most times they are water. I'll use the button, window button, when they are faulty most times, and you check inside them. When we lose them, we see that they are damaged from the inside. Whereby when water, because as you already know, or probably you don't know, water are conductors, and most of this liquid are also, when they get into parts or when into components, they tends to breach. Hope I will get that. Let us avoid spillage. And also, my number third point, or should I say number three, attend to light on the dashboard. I will always say something, that your dashboard is your information place, or your information center of the car. A driver driving and not always focusing on his board, as conversant as every minute your eyes have to glance through that board. We are not asking you not to focus on your driveways, but mind you, if anything should happen to your car, aside from the fact that you might be hearing it, those that you can't hear will be seen, or a message will be sent to your board. Even though dashboard are different from others due to the fact that cars are more complex. But no matter how your car might not be complex, a lot of informations, or if there's any fault that might happen or that is happening, you will always see it on the board. Even though there is more to the board, the dashboard, some will also call it instrument cluster. And I have some local people that will call it uh, the the information center. So sorry for that. So and also in terms of the board, there are different types of lights there. We have the ABS, the check engine. The check engine, you can. There are some cars that instead of check engine, they give service engine soon, and others same thing. We have the fuel gauge, the speedometer, the ref counter, and a lot and lot and lot. I think that will also tally with the fact that I said being conversant with my number one point. But I won't want this video to be too long. If there's anything you would like me to explain more, probably you don't get the message or you don't get the explanation, you can as well chat me up. I would like to move to the number fourth point, which is the fuse repair or adjustment. 70% of electrical parts of cars that get faulty are from wrong fuse rating or appliance. From my experience, when I check through fuse box and I check the way some people replace fuse or sometimes they repair fuse, they are not the right rating. I'll set an example. You will see some like applying 5 amps where they're supposed to be 20 amps or more. Or somewhere you will find 30 amps where you're supposed to be 5 amps. This thing tends to destroy components. They are very destructive. And also, as a car user, you can as well check. There is always a specification for every fuse or every fuse port that you must use there. You can bring out the cover. Most cars have the instructions on the cover. And those that don't have it on the cover, you see it on the manual. That is why the user manual is also very important. And that will also tend and align with the fact that I said being conversant with your vehicle. Try to go through it. Because if there's anything to happen on your car, there's always a fuse located to that place. And sometimes you will see some people, I won't like to say or to call it an engineer, because there are some people, I won't call them engineers since they are not doing the right thing. An engineer that went to study and did safety, health safety equipment, knows what it means to endanger or to apply wrong fuse. So therefore, I will call them an ordinary people, whereby we put fuse and it cause problem. So let us be careful and let us, as a car users have said, or probably what I'm trying to explain is that try and go through them, because if there's any problem to happen, it starts from whereby you've been noticing or whereby you've been cautioned, whereby the car have given you a sign that the fuse has broken and you like put in fuse, it got broken again, definitely you should know something is wrong somewhere. Or if peradventure it is when you were doing something got broke, the fuse got broken, it's telling you that it's not the right thing. Please let us be careful and watchful. I would like to go to the fifth point, which are target specification. This is most times on the driver door side panel. You will always see the tire specification. The information will be written there. I think this video is long enough. There are other things you can check. As a car user, you can't be too careful. Quote that. And others are battery charge level, the fuel level check, exhaust check, and the under hood or body check. There are others, mind you, but I just tried to make you to understand that as a car user is not only driving a car that is important. There are some other things that you should know which are very vital, and I think I have just make you know some things. And with this, at least if your car should be getting faults at the rate of 10:1, that means in 10 days or in 10 months your car get faults once. With this, it might be increased. I'm just citing an example, it's not a ready fact. It might just get faults probably as long as 15:1. That means in 15 months it's gonna get faults once or even more. As I've said, when you are careful, then you are fault free. When you are careful, you are fault free. Because when you are always you see hearing slight sound, you make repair of it. Because from anything big, it always starts small. It always starts by probably a little mistake or a little negligence. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And